AITA for exposing my sister to our parents after finding out she's been lying about needing money for medical expenses. 32F. Can't believe I'm writing this. My family is in shambles right now, and I feel like I'm at the center of it. I've been going back and forth in my mind, wondering if what I did was justified or if I truly went too far. Maybe writing this all out will help me make sense of it. For context, my sister Emma, 29F, has always been the golden child. You know the type. The youngest, the favorite, the one who could do no wrong. Meanwhile, I've been the responsible one, the one who plays by the rules. Growing up, this dynamic wasn't easy to deal with, but I learned to live with it. I focused on building my own life, staying out of her drama, and letting her enjoy her status as the family darling. But this situation is different. It's not just sibling rivalry or petty jealousy. It's about trust, betrayal, and how far someone is willing to go to exploit the people who love them. About a year ago, Emma started telling our parents that she was struggling with medical bills. She called them up crying, saying her insurance wouldn't cover some specialist or that she needed a medication that cost hundreds of dollars a month. Our parents are retired and living on a tight budget, but they're the kind of people who would do anything for their kids. They didn't hesitate to help. At first, I didn't think much of it. I figured she was genuinely going through something and needed support. But over time, her claims started to feel off. For one, she was always vague about what was wrong. She never gave specifics, just said things like, "It's really personal," or "I don't want to worry you with the details." And while she was supposedly drowning in medical debt, her social media told a very different story. Emma's Instagram was a highlight reel of luxury and indulgence. Designer handbags, nights out at trendy restaurants, spa weekends, and even a trip to Cancun. I tried to convince myself that she was just treating herself to cope with stress, but it didn't sit right with me. How could she afford all that if she was struggling to pay for essential medical care? The breaking point came last week. I was at a coffee shop when I ran into one of her friends. We started chatting, and this friend casually mentioned how amazing Emma's life seemed. "She's always buying the nicest things," she said. "Did you hear she's planning a trip to Europe in the spring? Must be nice." I felt like I'd been slapped. A trip to Europe? Emma had just asked our mom for $2,000 for some kind of medical test. I couldn't ignore the red flags anymore. That night, I went down a rabbit hole. I scrolled through her Instagram and pieced everything together. There it all was, evidence of a lavish lifestyle completely at odds with the story she'd been feeding our parents. I saw photos of her with designer shopping bags, posts from high-end restaurants, and even receipts from luxury stores. It was undeniable. I confronted her the next day. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, so I asked her directly, "Emma, what's going on? Are you really struggling with medical bills? Or is there something else you're not telling us?" At first, she played dumb. "What are you talking about?" she said, her voice dripping with fake innocence. But when I pushed harder, her mask slipped. "Okay, fine," she snapped. "I don't have medical bills. But it's not like they can't afford it. They're retired, sure, but they have money. And honestly, I deserve to live a little. What's the big deal?" I was stunned. My parents had been making sacrifices to help her, cutting back on their own expenses, dipping into their savings, all because they thought they were helping her stay alive. And she just shrugged it off, like it was no big deal. I couldn't let it go. I gathered the evidence, screenshots of her Instagram posts, receipts, and even some of her texts where she'd casually mentioned her shopping sprees. Then I sat my parents down and showed them everything. The look on their faces was heartbreaking. My mom started crying almost immediately, clutching her chest like she'd been physically hit. My dad didn't say much, but the silence was worse. He just sat there staring at the photos, his face pale. Finally, he said, "I thought we were helping her survive." Hearing that broke me. This wasn't just about the money. It was about the trust they'd placed in her, the belief that they were making a difference in her life. And she'd taken advantage of that in the worst way. When Emma found out what I'd done, she was furious. She started blowing up my phone with angry texts and voicemails, calling me a jealous *TCH and accusing me of trying to ruin her life. She even went as far as telling our mutual friends that I was vindictive and out to take her down. A few of those friends reached out to me, saying I should have handled it differently. "Why didn't you just talk to her again?" one of them asked. "Maybe you could have helped her see the error of her ways without involving your parents." But how could I do that? She wasn't going to stop. She didn't feel guilty. She felt entitled. If I hadn't said anything, she would have kept draining our parents dry, possibly until they had nothing left. Now, our family is a mess. Emma isn't speaking to any of us. My parents are heartbroken, not just because of the money, but because of the betrayal. They've always been proud of how close-knit our family was, and now it feels like that's been shattered. As for me, I feel torn. On one hand, I know I did the right thing by exposing her lies. Our parents deserve to know the truth. But on the other hand, I can't shake the guilt. Did I handle it the wrong way? Could I have done something differently to avoid this fallout? I keep replaying my dad's words in my mind. I thought we were helping her survive. If I hadn't spoken up, they'd still be sacrificing for her, believing they were making a difference. But now, the truth is out, and it's left us all in pieces. So, Ida?